This is Scott Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of The Exchange here on WGH Talk. This week joined by the 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, and we'll be joined as the program goes along by Matt Morgan and Glenn Coble to discuss a lot of the things going on in the world and locally here in Marion County. Mary Ellen, always good to have you back on the program. We've got a new table.
Yes, and a new cover for the table.
I think they call this a pedestal table.
Oh, do they?
I think that's what I was told.
A pedestal table?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, I know it's not a kitchen table, and it's not an end table, so I think somebody told me it was called a pedestal table.
Oh, okay.
I'll go along with it.
I'll go along with it.
We'll all sit at a round table and have these discussions. And I'll tell you, the big discussions right now are local. We'll just go through these and get some of the national news. But I'll tell you, it seems as if the Democratic Party is coming alive a little bit here locally. People were wondering. We'll start with the first question here. Is in our at-large race, we thought it was going to be Dana Martin locally going into the fall. Dana has had to withdraw her candidacy. So the Democrats have until Monday, August 11th, to appoint a new candidate. And I believe tonight, Wednesday night, when we're taping this, they are meeting to decide who to put in this position. But I got a call this morning from Tara Dyer that they have people in mind. What do you make of Dana getting out of this race and the Democrats meeting to appoint somebody?
Well, evidently something came up that she couldn't continue to run, and those things happen, you know. So I'm glad the committee's working on it.
A lot of people feel very interested in the idea because there are 3 Republicans running for the at-large seat, and there are 3 at-large seats. So a lot of people would feel that a Democrat might be a shoo-in here if there's one on the ballot, because if the Republicans split the vote 3 ways, even if the Democrat finished third, they still would get an at-large seat.
Okay.
I think that's the thinking right now.
Okay.
So we'll see who fills that spot.
Yeah.
And in another interesting bit of irony, we had Tommy Reese, who's the current treasurer. He was going to run unopposed this coming fall. He has withdrawn his candidacy to be reelected. The Republicans have appointed Vidya Eingard into that position to run this coming fall. Tommy will finish out his term, but because they appointed somebody to run for office, it gives the Democrats, through a loophole, even though they didn't run anybody in the primary, a chance to run somebody in the treasurer's race.
Is Vidya working in the office now?
No, she retired in January of 24.
From that office?
From the
Treasurer's office?
No, from Pillar Credit Union. That's where she worked.
That's right.
Right.
The Pillar, okay.
Yeah. But no, she's not working in the office right now.
Yeah.
But the Democrats, we thought this would be an unopposed seat, but now the Democrats have till August 11th, through a loophole in the election manual, to appoint somebody to run against her.
Yeah.
So this is also interesting to a lot of people.
Yes, probably is. It gives people a chance to think it over again, you know.
Well, and I think one of the things that's really being discussed right now is you've got Anthony Azaria running in the 6th Ward. If the Democrats are able to find somebody to run at large and for treasurer, that puts 3 seats on the ballot in the fall, in what will be a low turnout year, and also it'll be a good barometer, people feel, of how is Marion County feeling about Trump and the Republicans.
Yeah, that'll tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So I think it could be that the Democrats might win some seats, and also we have not had a municipal year in, I think, 4 years where there wasn't something else on the ballot.
Really?
Yeah. So this could be a very, very big election night, not only for Marion, but for a bellwether as to what's going to happen in the future.
Well, just the classified thing would cause a lot of people to come out, I would think.
Well, the Charter City, we've got that as well.
Yeah.
That'll be on the ballot. That's been added. Now, as of Tuesday morning, when I spoke to the Board of Elections, they told me that they only have had 2 people turn in petitions yet, so far, but a lot of people have picked them up. And I talked, Tara Dyer said she's going to run. Glenn Coble said he was going to run. As a matter of fact, he had his petition when I saw him this morning. So there are some people who are interested in doing this.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's an interesting time here in Marion.
Well, we've got excitement.
In the city.
And excitement is good.
Yeah, especially as we head into a local, really what will be a localized election.
Yes, yeah.
Where do you think the Democratic Party, the Democratic voters are in Marion? Do you think there's still a good portion of them?
Oh, yeah, I think there are. You know, it's interesting. I would like to talk to people that voted for Trump and see, you know, where they are now. The news a little bit ago said that a lot of men have lost interest in Trump, and it's gone down quite a bit in the polling for men. Interesting, huh?
Well, it is interesting, and that was one of the discussions going on here in Marion, is there a loss? Because we see these rallies that they're having. They are having decent attendance.
Did they have decent attendance?
I think there was about 200. We'll ask Glenn about it. I know he was there.
Well, that's a good amount.
So they're having decent attendance. They have had as many as 300 at these things. So maybe that is some kind of turnaround from where we were.
I don't know, but we'll find out.
Yeah, November's not far off.
No, it isn't.
But
this is August.
This is August. Less than 3 months to go.
Right.
Mary Ellen, as we talked about the charter quite a bit last week, but as time has gone on and you've had a chance to think about it, what do you feel about it now, as we're getting close to the deadline?
Oh, I don't want it.
Right.
I really and truly don't want it at all. I mean, absolutely not.
You know, it's very interesting that this is being posed as putting qualifications in on these positions.
Yeah, it's disgusting because it isn't the way, you don't change the system. You run good people and do it that way. You don't change the system.
You know, what has been interesting to me is we've been talking about this on the air the last week. People have called in and said, well, it's because Marion doesn't have enough college graduates. They don't have enough qualified people to fill these positions.
Oh, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That is an argument that is being made, and I'm not sure that I understand that argument.
No, I don't understand it either.
No.
Yeah.
You know, if we would put qualifications in on certain parts of office, I don't think a lot of people would have ever been able to run.
Yes, that's right.
And that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Do you think that somebody's qualifications make them good at a job? I mean, I think somebody who's qualified could be terrible at a job.
Absolutely, there are.
Right.
Some, you know.
There are many of them that have. We've seen that.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah. They had the qualifications, but it didn't turn out very well.
I'll tell you, it's all in desire to do a good job. If you have the desire to do a good job, then you're going to do a good job. You care about what you're doing, you pay attention, you're alert, and you're there. And I have seen so many people in office that didn't go to the office. I mean, they were home or wherever they were or had another job somewhere. And that isn't how you hold a public office.
Well, and I got to thinking about this. When you went from the Elgin School Board to the License Bureau and decided you were going to run for county treasurer. Now, I guess technically they would have said, well, you don't have any experience to be county treasurer.
And I heard that.
And you heard that.
I did. I heard that.
So what? Obviously it turned out okay.
Yes, but I'll tell you what did it. I took over the License Bureau. I called the governor.
Governor Gilligan.
Yes. And I said, I lost the election to the clerk of courts, and I said, I want to run for office again, and I want to get my name known. And it did the trick. I mean, I got 64% of the vote.
First time?
Yeah, first time for treasurer. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I ran the License Bureau so well. They hated to see me go. Yeah.
So they were glad to keep you.
Huh?
They were glad to keep you in Marion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you became treasurer of the county, how did you learn what to do?
Well, I talked a lot to the Attorney General, and I belonged to the County Treasurers Association. That I learned a lot in that organization. It was a great organization. All these organizations are so helpful to anybody in office. I mean, you asked Joanne Casotis about her auditors group. They're the same way. They exchange ideas and they help you with something you're having a problem with, and that's how you make it. Yeah.
So why do you think, and this is what has become peculiar, that the city treasurer and the city auditor, I mean, I would think they would have access to these resources.
I don't know if they have organizations or not, but I would think they would have. I don't know.
You would think, and I think this is probably how you gain experience. When you became state treasurer, how did you get acclimated to that job?
Well, that was the same as being county treasurer, it's just bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I belonged to the State Treasurers Association, and that was a wonderful organization. I had so many good friends in that group. Yeah.
When you became county treasurer, what made you the most nervous or apprehensive about the job?
Well, if I was nervous about something, I'd call up the Attorney General and ask him what he thought about it. And he'd tell me. And I talked a lot to the judge that was the father to the current county treasurer. What was his name? He was a wonderful judge here. And I relied on him a lot, too.
So you would talk to him?
Yeah.
And he would give you advice on what to do?
Yeah, on things, yeah.
Do you know, were you ever told why Bill Clinton chose you to be his treasurer?
All I know is there was a whole bunch of people running, and he said, I want people like bing, 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 bing. And I was one of the bings, you know. And he had, I thought I was probably not going to get it because I didn't support him right away. And it wasn't until he chose Al Gore that I said, if he's good enough for Al Gore, he's good enough for me. So, but then that didn't make any difference when the decision was made. I got it, but, you never know.
We've talked a lot about Bill Clinton, but I don't think we've ever talked about this. Where and when was your first conversation with him?
Well, it was, I was on the road, and he was too, and we met somewhere, and I don't remember where it was. I think it was in the South somewhere. And he talked to me, and he wanted me to support him, and I said, I'll have to think it over. And that's how I left it with him. And because I knew about his girlfriends and everything that was going on, and that I didn't like that, And but then when he picked Al Gore, I was an Al Gore person.
Now, at that time when you met Clinton, had Gore gotten out of the race by that point?
He wasn't in that. He wasn't in that race, was he?
Maybe he wasn't in that.
He was
primary.
in the '88 race.
That's right. So
He was in the '88 race where I was his chairman. Yeah.
So you had not decided yet in '92 who you were going to support.
No. Well, I hadn't decided that I would support Clinton. Put it that way. I hadn't. I just hadn't said that I would support him yet. I held off on it.
Now, had you supported any of the other Democrats in that primary?
No, I've met with all of them.
I think there was Jerry Brown, I think was a big one.
And Biden was in it.
Paul Tsongas, I think, was in that one.
No, I don't think I ever met with Tsongas. No, I never met with him.
But these were the big names at the time, and
Yeah.
a lot of people certainly felt that it would be one of them. And ended up being Bill Clinton. But
yeah, Bill Clinton, he was a good campaigner.
So, when was the first conversation that you had with Bill Clinton after you became treasurer? When did he call you? When you knew you had the job?
Well, the person that called me was Lloyd Benson.
He called you.
Yeah, the head of the Democratic Party called me and said that Lloyd Benson was going to call me that afternoon and tell me I had the job, and the president did not call me. Yeah.
So when was the first time you spoke to the president after you knew you had the job?
Well, I think during the campaign. It was after the campaign was over.
Because this would have been...
it was after he was in office, yeah. I didn't talk to him, and, I had to go find out about his, he had I think it was a medal that was he had something being made that had some writing on it, and I had to go get that. I think that was the first time I talked to him, yeah.
And do you remember what the conversation was?
It was about that.
About the medal?
Yeah, and he was always very nice to me. Very nice, yeah.
You talked about it there, that even in '92, that when he was running, that you had a conversation, he wanted you to support him. You weren't quite sure because of the women issue, which was, pretty well known, I think, in circles at that point. Oh, yeah,
everybody knew about it.
Everybody knew about it. Even though he was denying it, it was certainly known.
Yeah.
So, you decide to support him, and yet he still chose you as the treasurer, which is interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. It was down to two people at the end. It was this gal from Colorado that had run for the Senate and didn't make it. There was no other treasurer, and that's always an interesting fact because they don't understand what it takes to win an office. The Republicans don't.
Yeah. Were you at the inauguration in '92? When Bill Clinton was first inaugurated?
No, I was not at that one. I was at the next one.
96.
Yeah, 96. But no, I was at Carter's inauguration, and nobody. That's it. Mm-hmm. And then Clinton's second inauguration. Yeah.
It's interesting to think back on this. What is your best explanation as this man, who we talked about had affairs, and obviously everybody remembers the Monica Lewinsky affair, but yet he's married to a very strong woman. That marriage survives Hillary. He appointed women, Madeleine Albright, yourself, Janet Reno, into strong positions. Mm-hmm. Well, do you ever think about what is that with him? That obviously he has this one part of his personality in which he does things with women who work around him or whatever it is, but yet he also gives women more opportunity than it seems like anybody else does.
I can't figure it out. I mean, Hillary was such a smart person, and they seem to get along great,
Yeah. It's a strange dichotomy with him that I think a lot of people can never figure out.
Well, there's a lot of men like that. There are.
Now that you look back at this point in your life at Bill Clinton, you're waiting to read his book that he just recently did.
If I ever get it. Yeah.
How do you look at Bill Clinton now?
Oh, I like him a lot.
Right.
He was a wonderful person. Yeah, the minute I was around him then and got to know him, I really liked him.
That's what everybody says about Bill Clinton, that if you met him for 5 minutes, even if you disagree with him totally, you can't help but like him.
That's right. Yeah. He's just got that personality.
He's got that charm, they
Yeah,
say. He's
yeah.
got that charm.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to keep Mary Ellen with us. We're going to bring Glenn Coble in, who is running for the Charter Committee, so we're going to get his thoughts on that. Also, what's going on with the local GOP. If Matt's here, we'll bring him on in, and we're going to continue the conversation here on WGH Talk. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. Hey, this is Scott Spears with WGH Talk, and we are celebrating the 11th anniversary, and we're having a great time. The whole gang's here. 40th President of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, Superfan Buckeye Guy, Chad Clark, Fred Malone, Bob Welsh, Linda Sims, Matt Morgan, Christian Pearson, Gary Packett. Even my mother is here. My goodness gracious, the whole gang is here, and we are celebrating. We thank the L&D Cake Shop for this beautiful, beautiful cake. Buckeye Guy, are you happy to be here?
Man, I'm so happy to be here, you wouldn't believe it.
Bring it on again.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Bob, are you having a good time down there?
Having a great
time. Absolutely. Mary Ellen, are you ready to tear into this cake?
Oh, I am.
Cannot wait for it. And we thank you, the listening audience, for being with us for 11 years. It's been terrific. We thank you, thank you, thank you. And on the count of three, one big happy anniversary. 1, 2, 3. Happy anniversary! Hey, Scott Spears back here on The Exchange with the 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, and now joined by a man who's run for office many times here in Marion. He lost. I always give
lost a lot, too.
Well, I knew you were going to go there, Glenn. That's why it crossed my mind. I knew you were going to say you've lost a lot. You ran for mayor, you ran for state rep, you ran for county trustee, and now, as of last Friday, you announced on the show you are running for the Charter Commission. I saw your petition this morning. What changed your mind completely around since we did this show last week? Glenn Coble.
I don't know.
I know. You
What?
care about your world.
Well, I do.
Yes, you
That's
do.
it. And I was afraid we would get nobody that cared about the people that need to be cared about in
Yes.
the city.
Yeah,
If the other guys win.
yeah. I
So that's
care.
what I
I
did.
care about them too, but I'm not up to it.
Well, you know, that's interesting. I'll tell you, Mary Ellen, it's interesting because Mary Ellen came in on Friday morning and we did a show, and I asked her again about the charter city thing. And on Friday morning, you said, I don't think I would ever do it, but you never know.
Yeah.
And that sparked interest in people.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I decided
Well, see,
to do
there
it.
you go. I'm telling you, people got interested in that. There's a thing, and I thought that's interesting.
Well, it made it more realistic.
I'm not up to it.
Well, it's understandable.
I wouldn't
you know?
do it. I wouldn't do it if I were you.
No.
But now, Glenn,
Matter of fact, I shouldn't be doing it. It's
well,
me.
it's not a huge commitment. 6
Yeah.
months and you'll be in and out. So, what is the reason? What drove you to it?
Well, I think
You care.
yeah, that's kind of a schmaltzy way of saying it, but I do care about the people that need to be cared about in this community, and for that matter, in the world. We have so many rich people that don't give a tinker's damn about. See, I cleaned it up for you.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Glenn.
They don't care a tinker's damn about taking care of anything or caring about anything, and we need people that care, and we need more people to sign up for this commission that care. People that will. I understand that there are a lot of people with opposing views to mine that are trying to jam several of them into this. What is it called?
Charter Commission.
Charter Commission. And I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish we'd have a lot of people supporting. But we'll just do what we can do. If I get elected onto that, and the city can still say we don't want to do it.
Right. Now, my understanding was you're opposed to the charter itself.
I am, yeah.
So if the charter did pass and you got on the committee, what do you want to see done or not done in Marion?
Well, I don't want to see the charter done. But if in fact I'm in the minority and I don't have much to do with whether it's done or not done, at least I can put my voice in there and tell the Charter Commission people what I think we should care about in our city. And I'm going to put my 2 cents in. That's all I can do.
There you go. And what do you think people should care about?
Kindness to each other. People that need a little help. people that need a little help that aren't getting a little help. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to live with what I have. But there are a lot of people, if they were on Social Security like I am, they can't afford to. I have some funds left from my family. So there are a lot of people that don't have any backup plan, and I think we need to help everybody we can. It's not a big thing. It's a few bucks, and that's what drives me crazy about the national situation the way it is. These people, these billionaires who are going against all these individuals, have more money. They probably could take care of 100 of these people without even thinking about it. And yet, I don't know why people want so much money. Money that, well, I've never liked money. My father was a minister, and money wasn't a big thing in my family. And it has never been a big thing to me. And I don't understand why people, if you're a Christian, if you're a Christian and you believe in things that Christ told, money shouldn't be that important to you. And a lot of people claim to be Christian that are proving that they're not.
And I would just like to point out that this week we got a new table.
Yeah. Speaking
I would just like to bring that up.
Speaking of Christianity, a new
Well, no,
table.
I wanted to get it in because I don't want to forget that a part of our set here, which I think is a nice...
I know.
Sorry.
That's the other part of the set.
There's a whole thing there. But now, what do you think of the new table, Glenn?
It's round.
What? Because we went from a
And
rectangular
what about
to
this?
a new yellow tablecloth.
I hate to tell you, I didn't notice any difference.
No, there's
Is
the old
it
table.
really?
Mary Ellen did.
Yeah, there's the old table behind us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But this
there it is.
This is the new table.
Well, I'm very proud.
You don't like that we're all sitting? It's like I thought it would be more cohesive, that we all would be sitting around a round table.
You know,
Okay.
it's truly amazing how much you get into this room.
No.
I mean, just look around, and it's not a big room at all, but there's a lot of things in here.
And the things that come out of here, it looks okay.
Yeah.
Wait for Christmas when we put the trees up. This room's really full then.
Well, yes, but I mean, but on that we look great.
We look like $1 million
Yeah,
bucks.
that's right.
Well, some of us do.
We all
I,
look like
I think we all look like $1 million
Yep,
bucks.
we all
Yeah.
look good. We come across well.
Green and crinkly. Yeah.
Green, well, we've got the whole thing. Well, Glenn, other news here in Marion this week. Now, you have a tie in one of these other stories, but let's start with the one you don't have a tie in. The Democratic Party for the at-large race has lost their candidate. Dana Martin has resigned her position. But the Democratic Party is meeting as we speak to try to get somebody to run for that position. Mm-hmm. What do you make of that?
I think it's an opportunity. I'm frightened that we'll make a bad decision. I hope we do not. They haven't asked me, and that's fine. But
Now, if you were asked, would you do it?
I'd have to think.
Oh.
I really
Well,
don't.
see.
Oh.
See, there we go.
Oh.
See?
It's not that.
It's not dead there, Glenn. It's not dead.
Mary Ellen, she's giving me a hard time here.
No, I think you left the
her
door
off.
open. You left the door open.
Yeah.
You left the door open.
I would do it if the city needed it. But
Well, do they need it?
I don't think so. I think we have plenty of people in the Democratic Party that do a good job. Well, I hope. I'm not sure about plenty of people, but we have people that can do a good job.
Well, what about, well,
There's a lot of Democrats in this
Yeah.
town yet.
Yeah.
well, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. Well,
Yes, it will.
if we find out tonight that they haven't chosen anybody, we only have till Monday here.
Yeah.
August 11th.
And this is Wednesday.
This is Wednesday. So,
I think it's 4:00 on Monday.
yeah.
Whenever they close down there.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
a decision's got to be made, and that's all on the Democratic Party. There's no petitions or anything involved in that particular appointment. Now, maybe the one a little more difficult, now this is where you have a tie, Glenn, because
Yes,
now
I do.
this
I
is
know.
this is very complicated to explain, but our current treasurer, Tommy Reese, was going to run for a second term.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be on the ballot this fall. He did get the signatures, but he decided to withdraw and not run. The Republican Party met and appointed Vidya
Iyengar.
Iyengar, who was Glenn's former boss, right?
Yeah.
Yes, at the Pillar
So
Credit Union.
You know her.
Oh, I know her very well.
Yes. All right. So
Will she be good?
You know, as a Democrat, it's hard for me to say that because she's a Republican.
But she will be.
She is excellent with finance.
Well, good. That's what we need. Somebody good.
Yeah.
are you surprised? Were you surprised when you saw that the Republican Party had chosen her to fill the spot?
I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she'd want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, she will be a great financial person.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you like her? Is she a personable person?
I liked her fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I'm
You
not
know,
doubting you.
well, sometimes your boss and you have disagreements, but yeah, she was a nice lady.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So that's on
Except she made me go see Jim Jordan when he first came to town. Yeah, because
You had to be the one to go see him?
No, she had a party at her house for him, and I was
Oh.
expected to be there.
Oh,
And
Oh, you went
Were
to a
you-
big Republican deal?
you were there?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I listened to him because I didn't really know much about him, but I knew he had been a coach at my old school of Ohio University, and or no, he had been a coach of a sport that we competed against him. He was at OSU, but one of my best friends was the wrestling coach at Ohio. I sat for an hour and a half and listened to him talking to the people and made my opinion, and that's why I'll never vote for him.
Didn't like the speech.
I don't appreciate him. I think he's pretty self-serving.
Now, did you tell Vidya that?
No,
No. Okay.
it's her. Everybody should make your own choice about people.
Right. So, Vidya's on the ticket. Now, here's where it gets really technical. The Democrats ran nobody in the primary, but because there is a replacement on the ballot, Vidya's not being made treasurer, she's just being made the candidate for the Republican Party, but because Vidya is replacing Tommy on the ballot through a loophole in the election manual, now the Democrats get to just appoint somebody to run against Vidya.
That's right.
And Tara Dyer told me this morning on the radio program that they have candidates in their meeting as we speak on Wednesday night to try to fill that spot. So what do you think about that, Glenn?
Well,
now these races where not a whole lot of Democrats were running this fall may be all rejuvenated now.
We may get another opportunity. I like the chance that we have. I don't know my fellow Democrats well enough to know which ones would be good at it. I do know that we really struggled in that position up till now, and I'm glad that they're going to have a new person at that position. We have really struggled with the money here in Marion, Ohio, for the last 10 years, something like that. And I know that if she gets in there, I will have no worries about our money. But I'd like to see somebody that's as competent as she is, that has a D after their name. But I don't. It's going to be hard to find somebody that's as competent as Vidya is.
Well, the person before him was a good person.
I don't remember who
Tom
that
Bennett.
was.
Tom Pannon.
Oh yeah, I didn't know
He
he had run it. For that.
He
Of
got
course,
beat.
I knew that.
He
yeah.
got beat by. That's what I couldn't understand. When somebody's doing a good job and they run somebody that beats him, and then they don't do very well. There you are.
I like Tom a lot, but I don't know Tom as well as I know Vidya, since I worked with her for 12 years.
Well,
But I do think he would be excellent. I didn't know what.
Well, he did a great job as treasurer. Yeah, and he would be good at it yet. I mean,
If he wants it, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants it. He's probably retired, but I don't know
He's
that.
about the same age as I am.
Is
so
he?
I'm guessing maybe just a year or two younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I gave up running entirely because you get tired of running.
Yeah, it's hard work. Yeah.
Well, now I guess this brings us to the final point on this. If the Democrats appoint somebody to run for treasurer, if they appoint somebody to run for city council at large, you've got Anthony Azaria running in the 6th Ward. You've got Charter Commission on the ballot. It really is the local of localist elections, nothing on the state ballot, nothing on the national ballot. What do the Democrats need to do to punch a hole back into this county, and the city, Mary Ellen?
We need to run people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't been running people, and it's because no, they're afraid to run because everybody's losing. And things could be changing, though. This could be totally different.
I agree with Mary Ellen.
Well, being what will be a low turnout election, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows what'll
Yeah,
happen here?
right.
You know, I don't think any of these people are shoo-ins. I don't think Ron Prater's a shoo-in to be reelected. I don't think Vidia's a shoo-in to get the treasurer's spot. I don't think that Charter City's a definite go. I don't think that these at-large candidates are shoo-ins.
I wonder if that's one of the things that bugged me about running for the whatever the position is I'm running for.
Charter.
Yeah, is if it doesn't pass, if people don't want a charter, what in the world am I doing on being nominated? You know.
Well, it's in case they do want a charter.
Yeah, I
think
know
is the
that's what it
idea.
is, but it could mean that I'm just wasting 3 or 4 months of my life.
What do you think you're going to have to campaign, though?
I'm not planning on it.
So there you
Aren't
go.
you? You're not gonna.
Not hard. I
Yeah.
might come on, I might
You
get
come
on
on.
the radio, I
Oh,
might
yeah.
get in the
Yeah.
newspaper.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to spend any money on it because
Yeah.
if I do, then I have to set up a treasurer and all sorts of other
Oh,
things.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it's an interesting road as we go here, and we'll find out who the candidates are, and then we can have a discussion about that. But as of now, we don't know who those candidates are, but they've got till Monday. Mary Ellen, though, what if they don't run anybody? That's the big fear. The clock's ticking.
Who is they?
The Democrats.
Oh, they will.
Well, you said they're excited.
That's what they said.
Yeah, I think they're gonna run people. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about this is that they had a chance to run somebody for treasurer back in May during the primary.
Well,
and
there was a different structure then, though.
I think so. I
in
think
the
there's a
party.
little right.
In the party.
Oh, yeah.
So I think there's.
There
I
is
think
no,
that-
was no structure.
That is the way to say it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think things are a little bit different now. Yeah.
I'll be interested to see because Tara, I believe, said to me on the radio this morning, because I said, the person you guys are thinking about running for treasurer, do they have qualifications? And she said yes. So
Yeah.
That's important.
here we are.
Absolutely.
So we're in this qualification game. I'm just going to throw this out there because there's a bunch of national stories going on. What's going on down in Texas with redistricting and what's happening there, and 1,000 other stories. The Epstein files stays on the front page of the paper. What do you think about what's going on nationally right now, Mary Ellen?
Well, you know, I was very interested in why they moved Maxwell to a different location. And then, of course, I knew that she wasn't going to say anything to do anything to anybody. I mean, I figured she wouldn't say a word that was going to cause any trouble.
But
And
wants to
she
be
evidently didn't.
Yeah.
And so that was a whole dumb situation. Yeah.
What do you make of the Texas situation?
Oh, I think it's terrible that they're doing that because they're not following the rules. They're supposed to do it every 10 years, and they're doing it in 5 years, and that's just like they try to do. They try to break all the laws, you know. And here we are, and they're trying to influence other states to do the same. Indiana, I guess, is thinking about it. And we got the Democrats, Texas Democrats living in Chicago right now, and they're being taken care of by the governor, he said today. I was listening to him. And what a time. I mean, I just wish people would follow the rules of government. They are not following the rules. This administration is totally off base.
Well, how does this happen? I mean, what my understanding is, Texas is not due for a redistricting.
It's not
No.
10 years,
Right.
every 10 years.
So they've got it in their head that they want to do it now.
Yeah.
Because it's not looking good for them coming up in the midterms next year.
Right.
And there's a big standoff because of this.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm not even sure how this is legal, or does this
I
go
don't
to the
think it is.
Supreme Court? Or
It isn't legal, but they're trying to get away with it. That's what bothers me. They get away with this stuff that isn't the thing to do.
Well, Glenn, what do you make of these situations with what's going on down in Texas? What's going on with the Epstein files?
Well, as far as I can see, the stuff that's going on in Texas is what I think it's corrupt. I think it's against the rules, and unfortunately, it's kind of been what the Republican Party has been all about for the last 8 years since Trump got involved in it. It's like what I used to do with my mom when I wanted to get away with something. If I said it was okay enough times, she would think, well, I guess it's okay. And they just keep saying, well, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. It's not against the law. Well, the only reason why it's not against the law, it is against the law, but Trump's making it more acceptable, I guess. That bothers the heck out of me. Now, I've heard that the Democrats may just turn the tables on him by going out to California and New York and wiping out all the Republicans that are legitimately in districts that should get them nominated. But gerrymandering can go both ways. And if they do that, they'll just wipe out the Republicans in those. And if that's what you want, a war like that, I think you're an idiot. This country was not established this way. This country was established on fairness, even-handedness, concern for the law, and Mr. Trump, I even have a hard time calling Mr., but Trump has decided that the only law that counts is what he thinks is right. And I think that's ruining America. And it's ruining, I have noticed, my wife asked me today, she said, and I drive around town quite often, she says, are you seeing more Trump signs? Quite frankly, I'm seeing way less Trump signs out and about. And I think people are starting to say, hey, wait a minute, I don't want to vote for a guy that's that corrupt. And I'm hoping that's where it's going.
Well, I hope he doesn't try to run for a third term.
Well, I think he will. I think he wants to be an autocrat. I think he wants to be king of the United States. I really believe that.
Well, I don't think he can live forever.
No, and he may not live much longer if he tries to do that.
His ankles are swelling.
His ankles are swelling, so there's, that's going on.
Don't look at my ankles then.
Well, Mary Ellen, so far into the Trump presidency, how do you feel about it?
Oh, terrible.
What a horrible thing to ask.
I thought we'd throw it out there.
Yeah, throw it out there and I'll just throw it right up. Yeah, I'll tell you, when I saw he was elected, I thought, oh my God, I gotta live with this for 4 years. Yeah.
And
now, you think,
now I don't know how I'm gonna stand it. Yeah.
We're not even a year into this
I
yet.
know, that's the thing. Yeah,
I know.
Right.
I just looked it up, and I'm 2 weeks and 4 days older than he is.
Oh.
So I'm going to try and outlive him.
You want to outlive it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least you got a goal. Now, how do you feel about the Trump presidency, Glenn?
Ditto. Exactly what you said. I have never hated anybody that I can recall, but I do hate that man. And that's terrible.
He takes surprise,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't hate him if he would just be honest about what he wanted and where he stood. But he's not going to get elected if he tells everybody what he wants to do.
So much worse than the first term.
Oh, yeah. Not only much worse than the first term, but worse than any other president ever in the history of the country.
What do you make of the people who like him? I mean, there are still people who fly the flags and do that sort of thing.
That's a great question. And my wife and I talk about that many nights. Why do people trust him? You can see. You don't have to even think, and you can tell he's lying. And why would people want to do that, especially since so many of the American people that care about him are evangelicals, or at least they're Christian, and everything he stands for is anti-Christian.
That's right. I can't understand that part either. Yeah.
And a lot of people say, what do you know? You're an atheist. Well, I know because I was raised by a Methodist minister. I know the Bible inside and out, and I've read it twice. So,
What's your favorite chapter, Glenn?
Probably can't give you a chapter, but I do like the book of Matthew.
Oh, okay. Now, for people who don't know, what's that about?
Well, he's one of the Gospels, and it's about Christ's life is what it's about.
Well, there you go. It's very interesting, and I guess we'll have to see how this all shakes out in the end. But it's an interesting world to live in right now.
Interesting,
you think so?
is it?
I don't think it's an interesting
No.
world at all. I like to see a world that's run according to laws,
Yeah,
and there are no laws that are being followed now. The judges are probably all scared to death, and I tell you, whatever he wants to do, he does, and he gets away with it.
Well, that's what it makes me think. I keep thinking, if any president had ever tried this, would they have been able to get away with
No,
it?
they wouldn't have.
Well, see, now that's the question. Why is he?
He has broken down all the barriers.
And how do you do that?
He did it with time. He worked at it gradually, and he got all these people following him.
And he appointed a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, he's got all these buddies around him to
Yeah.
do his dirty work, and so there you are.
So does this point to a fragility of our government?
Yes, it does. But in a year and 3 months, I think we'll see a big change. That's when the next group is going to be voted in. Mm-hmm. And we may even see it starting before that. Once the Republicans who are in kind of shaky districts, once they start to see, well, if I stay with this, I'm not going to win, they may change their tune. But right now, they're still hanging in pretty tight.
Well, there's 10% less men voting or agreeing with Trump than did during the election.
Good.
10% less men. Yeah.
And really, I believe the mail vote is really...
That's what he got.
That's
the
what he
mail
gets,
vote.
yeah. Now, he got more women than they thought he was going to get, but not the majority of them.
He's got 5% less women vote now.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, do you think there'll be an election next November?
There better be.
Yeah,
Or there'll be a war on the streets.
Yes.
Well, how did the streets go this past Saturday? The rally on fascism.
I was a little disappointed, but we were downtown, and there was nobody downtown. I mean, nobody. It wasn't like...
There's nobody on the
there were
streets, period.
cars. Yeah, there weren't even cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and I was told it was the final week of the state fair.
It was.
And I think that's where the problem was. But I was expecting a fairly low turnout, but I was not expecting 50 people. That's
Oh,
what
it was
we had.
50.
Yeah.
See, I heard much higher, but apparently
No,
not.
It was 50. I counted them.
50. Oh, okay. So what does that say to you?
We got to keep pushing it. We got to keep people aware that you've got to keep it in front of those that want to take it away from us, and say we've got to continue to struggle for democracy. My little group that we started 2 years ago called Citizens for Democracy. The three of us started it. We went for about a year thinking, well, maybe we'll get one or two more people, but we didn't expect much. We're now up to 100 people. There
Are you really?
There are a lot of people
Well,
that are
that's
starting to agree
good.
with us. Yeah. So, matter of fact, most of that's who mainly was at the rally.
Really?
And the local Democratic Party had a few there, but we've just got to keep it in the face of everybody that if we don't fight for it, we're going to lose our democracy.
That's right. Yeah, we have to hang on to it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens as it continues to go along. Is there a real threat? I mean, during the election, the talk was Trump could be a dictator. This could be the end of democracy as we know it.
Yeah.
Now that
He
we're
wants
in
to.
it,
Yeah,
Do you
we're
think-
watching it.
this is it.
Yeah.
I think he wants to. Yeah.
Of course he does.
How does it get stopped?
It stops with judges standing their ground and the
People standing their ground.
yeah, we have to keep the laws in place, and we've got to have judges standing up for them. When he does something that's wrong, they've got to do something about it. And that's not always the case.
It's an interesting world. Can the Democrats do anything at this point? They're still unpopular. They seem to be fighting with each other in some cases.
Well,
Why do you think they're unpopular?
That's what the polls say.
yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah, the polls were way down. Way down, yeah. And it's, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what to say really anymore about it.
Well, we got one more segment. We're gonna come back with some interesting stories that are not political. Talk about some other things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll have some fun here in the last segment on the program.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did get a message. Matt fell asleep. Imagine that. So
What?
Matt fell asleep.
Yeah, we figured.
We figured.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be back next week for this, but we'll be back with one more segment with Mary Ellen and Glenn right after
Obviously,
this.
very big here in Columbus, very big all over Ohio, very big across the country. People recruit all over. They spend advertising dollars in television. They give access to things, sporting events, so on and so forth. Have you faced any repercussion for reporting this story?
So far, I have not. In the early days, again, I've been reporting this for 7 or 8 years. In the early days, when I was really uncovering so much and talking to, when all of these stories were unfolding originally, my fear was that our sports department would start getting pushback, that they would not give access to games or to whatever, but the university has not done that. I think they're aware of how bad they would look if they tried to do that, but they have been, and I have been on platforms where I have interviewed, Mr. Bjork, the new athletic director, and he was open and responsive. For Veterans Day, or I think it was Veterans Day, I did a program at the Veterans Memorial and Museum and introduced Ted Carter, had a lovely conversation with him and his wife. They've been kind and welcoming to me when I've been in public places with them. So I have not gotten any pushback so far from the university. Now, off the record, I've had calls from people who are associated with the university, who have tried to, again, this was when my reporting was first really heating up and we were getting all of these people coming forward, because it was like a floodgate, Scott. Once I started doing this, I would put this person on the air, I would hear from 2 or 3 more people. Have you talked to this guy? Let me tell you my story. So while that was going on, this is what I expected, that I would get that kind of pushback. I did not. They have, they knew what was coming, but they haven't said, no, you can't do it.
Hey, Scott Spears back here with 40th President of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, and Glenn Coble, who's running for the Charter Commission Committee this coming fall, and also who knows what else if asked. You'll take all invitations, right, Glenn?
I'm not asking for them. I'm just saying that if nobody else is going to do it, somebody has to volunteer.
What about for treasurer?
And I'm not smart enough for. I'm not smart like she is. I wouldn't know. My wife does my treasurer stuff.
Well, hopefully somebody will run for it. We'll see how that all. We'll know next week. We'll be able to talk about it next week. Now, here's a story locally. I don't want to get into this, but it's very rare that Marion ends up in People magazine, and we did last week. Not for the greatest of reasons, but there's a documentary. I don't want to read the whole thing here, but there's a documentary on Netflix right now called Amy Bradley is Missing. It began streaming on Netflix on July 16th. Now, essentially, this is about a girl who disappeared in 1998 on a cruise ship, and her family's still looking for her to this day. Now, why does this have a Marion tie? Why was it in People magazine on July the 30th? Here's why. One of the people interviewed in the documentary was the cruise ship director at the time. The cruise ship director at the time was Kirk Detweiler, who is the executive director at the Palace Theater here in Marion. Well, he doesn't come off great in the documentary, and here's what Amy Bradley's brother told People magazine. In an exclusive interview with People, Brad, who's Amy's brother, Brad Bradley, doesn't hold back about Detweiler's appearance in Netflix's new 3-part documentary series Amy Bradley is Missing. Brad calls Detweiler's demeanor flippant and accuses him of showing zero empathy both in 1998 and today. In the Netflix documentary, Detweiler says, "Life goes on, cruises go on." He adds, "We're not going to stop everybody's cruise because there's a missing girl. Brad tells people that Detweiler's appearance has made him one of the most hated men in the world right now. The reaction online to Detweiler was kind of the reaction that we had when we were watching him, especially when he has this flippant attitude with zero empathy. He says, adding his inability to read the room in the situation, I'm not quite sure how you agreed to do an interview and not understand you're gonna come off like he came off. So, not a good day for Kirk Detweiler over at the Palace, ending up in People magazine this way, and called by the girl's brother one of the most hated men in the world right now. So, Mary Ellen, we talked a little bit about this on Friday after it came out. What do you make of this?
Well, I think he could have said it a little bit differently instead of that way. I mean, he should have shown some empathy. Yeah.
Well, and this still is a PR story. I don't know. The irony of this story to me is that if the rub on you is that you're not empathetic and you're not sympathetic toward the family, why aren't you saying that now? Why are you being quiet? Why aren't you going on something and saying, listen, I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry I came off that way. The fact that he doesn't apologize to me is astounding, and the fact that this has got to People magazine is astounding.
Now, did he have the opportunity to do that with the magazine?
I don't know if they contacted him, but in between the time the documentary came out and the time People magazine did this story, there were 14 days that he could have went on anywhere.
He could have.
I know he's
Yeah.
had offers.
Oh, did he have?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've invited him on.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, he should have. Said something. To level that out. I mean, it's hard to know sometimes what people are thinking about when they answer a question and they don't give it the consideration they should. But then you got to come back with it if you didn't do it. I mean, you've got to say how sorry you are that happened, but there's nothing they can do now.
If nothing else, explain yourself why you are flipping.
Yeah.
Well, that's the odd thing about this whole thing to me, and that's why it's so interesting that this has made it to People magazine, and the man still refuses to say anything. And that does show some lack of empathy, just in the idea that everybody thinks you're unempathetic, and you're still not saying anything. I don't quite understand that. Mm-hmm. It's a bad look. Mm-hmm. It's a bad look. And I don't know how this man continues on to be the face of the Palace Theater. People have seen this documentary or read this story in People magazine. How long is it going to take before somebody sees him at an event and says, hey, what's that all about? Why did you act that way?
Well, I would think the board would be talking to him.
I would imagine they've probably had a meeting with him, I would think.
I do know some of the members of the board, but I haven't seen them lately to ask them. Yeah.
Well, and this man also likes to perform still in public.
Yes, he does. I tell you, he's a good dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he'll get any requests now with this hanging over his head.
I don't know. I don't know how that would be.
Glenn, what do you make of this?
I wrote down the word flippant.
Yes.
And the reason why I wrote it down is I want to go back to our government the way it is right now. That's the way the Trump government is, flippant. They don't care. They have no empathy. And I think that gives people in other positions beneath them the opportunity to go along with that type of attitude. And I truly believe that we need to get rid of Trump if for no other reason than the community and the kindness of the American people. We used to be seen as a light on the hill, right? Mm-hmm. We no longer are a light on the hill.
That's right.
And if you talk
Didn't Ronald Reagan say that, shining city on the hill?
Yeah.
And if you talk to any foreign dignitary, leader of any foreign country right now, they will tell you we no longer have that stance.
Well, I can't imagine what NATO thinks of us.
Yeah, I can't either.
They probably are saying terrible things about us. And I think the whole world probably is, really.
The one thing I did hear is there were some people being interviewed about our stance, and almost to a person, they all said, well, we know the American people are good. We just hate their leaders.
Yeah, but I mean, the American people elected him. That's
We
what
should throw him
looks
out.
so. That's what looks so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with us? You know?
It's an interesting time. But karma's an interesting thing, a leveler. We have the negative story here in People magazine with Kurt Detweiler at the Palace. But, now I don't know if this is a positive story or not, but it's another chance for Marion to get on the map. Apparently, a woman from Marion is going to be on The Golden Bachelor. Did you hear about this?
No.
Oh, yes. Do you watch The Golden Bachelor?
Yes.
There's going to be a woman from Marion on The Golden Bachelor, Mary Ellen.
What's
Well,
the
they've
Golden
already
Bachelor?
got the staff on there. I mean, the people on there. So is she already on?
I guess she is. I'll forget her.
Is she black or white?
I think she's white.
Is she?
I'm trying to remember what her name was, but they don't tell their last names on The Golden Bachelor.
No, they
but
don't.
her, I think it begins with. Can you look that up while we're doing this episode? I would do it, but I'll be looking down the whole time.
Yeah.
But just search Golden Bachelor Mary, and I think it's Linda or.
Don't look at me. I don't.
You don't
even
know about the Golden Bachelor,
I have
Glenn?
no idea what the
Oh
Golden
my!
Bachelor is.
Well, the Golden Bachelor is a show where a senior citizen is, I guess, in a house with other senior citizens. Isn't this how this show goes, Mary Ellen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing this one different.
Oh, okay.
They're having several men and several women, and I don't know how it's going to end.
And they all are seniors, I think. That's what makes it the Golden.
Well, no, these are younger people. Maybe it's a new one come on.
I think it's a new one.
Is
And
it on now?
I don't know what the premiere
This
date
other
is. We'll
one's-
look it up.
This other one's still on, where they never had a lot of men and a lot of women before. They always had one woman and a lot of men, or one man and a lot of women, and then they'd end up with somebody. But this time there's all these people, and it's been on for about, I don't know, about 4 weeks,
Really?
I think. Yeah.
I don't know what the premiere date is on this Golden Bachelor, but the woman definitely is from Marion. Do we know her name? Linda? It's something with an L, I think. But we'll get it here before the episode's over.
It's probably not started yet.
Probably not. But
Yeah.
but interestingly enough, the man who's going to be the Golden Bachelor is a former NFL player, and he's 66 years old. And he made some remarks lately that kind of got him called on the carpet.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
You hear this?
Yeah.
Well, here's the story. The new Golden Bachelor, who's 66, said he wants a woman aged 45 to 60, no wigs, no false hips. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think this is good for a man to say, Mary Ellen? Because these...
Don't make Mary Ellen show her false hips.
No. Oh, that's right. We did talk about that earlier off the air. No, but I mean, I don't know how this guy doesn't have any false body parts. He was in the NFL. I bet he's had a couple surgeries.
Yeah.
I bet he has.
But what do you make of it? He got in trouble for this comment. No, he wants obviously a younger woman,
Yeah.
45 to 60. I don't know. No wigs, no false hips.
You know, I didn't watch this show until when the gal chose the guy that they are not living together, but they're considered together, which I think is very weird. They live in different parts of the country and they see each other once a week, and that was the last. That was the Golden Bachelor. Now, that was the old guy and the older woman. Now they got the young people. So this is the next one, evidently.
I think this is the next one.
Yeah.
So what do you make of a Marion girl being on
Well,
this?
I think it's amazing. I'll be watching for her.
And that's right.
I might start watching.
But because of the Marion woman on this. Now, we hope that she ends up with this guy, but is this a bad remark to make, I guess is the question. Should he have said this?
What did he say?
He said he wants a woman 45 to 60.
Oh, that's not a good thing to
No.
say.
Glenn, why is this always a thing?
What?
You know, the older men want the younger women.
Yeah, sure. Well, there are guys that are in their 90s that are dating 25-year-olds, and so
Well,
or whatever they're doing. I'm not sure whether it's dating or just sort of hanging in a chair with them. But I don't understand it. And I've tried to understand it. As a 78, 79-year-old man, I like younger women, but I sure don't want to spend... I have a nice time sitting with my wife and talking about things. I can't imagine talking to a 28-year-old.
Yeah, because you don't have the same interests.
Nothing in common.
No,
Yeah.
no,
I don't understand it.
no, I don't either.
But you see it all the time.
Yes, you
and
do.
have for years.
Well,
Sex.
a lot of it is money,
Money.
and a lot of it is sex.
Yeah.
Money
it's
and
money
sex.
and sex.
And the
yeah,
money
yeah.
from the guy gets the sex from the women. That's
And-
usually
and
the way
women,
it goes.
the women get the money from the man.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes they get it from the women too. Yeah. You used to watch Dr.
We
Phil.
may go down. Be going down.
Well, this is quite the
an alley
conversation.
that we
I'll
shouldn't
tell you
be
that. This is certainly an interesting conversation to have. Very enlightening conversation. Lisa, 66 years old from Marion, Ohio.
Lisa.
Lisa, there's a picture of her.
Oh,
Best I can come up with.
wait a minute.
To go.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like somebody that's probably on now.
Yeah, I think she's on the Golden Bachelor. There she is,
Yeah.
Lisa from Marion. So that's a 66-year-old woman, Glenn.
I think
She
I went
doesn't
out
look
with her.
like it. Huh?
No,
She doesn't
She's
look
66.
that's what it says.
That's
Yeah.
hard to imagine.
Is that right? 66 years old.
I'd like
Wow.
to know the
Yeah.
last name.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out who this woman
Yeah,
is. I bet
yeah.
you know she's gonna be a local celebrity being
Yeah.
on this
She will.
Golden Bachelor show.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that's nice.
Yeah.
So is this a good look for Marion? I think so.
Yeah, and that was on last night, right?
I'm not sure when the let me look for
I
the
think
premiere
it's
date.
on Tuesday night.
September 28th, 2023. That was the old
2023.
yeah, excuse me. The second season, September 24th, 2025. That's when the Golden Bachelor will start on ABC.
You know, it could be really good for Marion, or it could be really bad. It kind
Why could it be bad?
kind of depends on how she
Yeah,
presents.
what she likes.
Oh, you're saying she might be a little loose.
She might be.
She looks like a nice person.
Yeah,
She
does.
looks like a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah,
woman.
but she might get on and
Yeah.
act like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, we hope not.
We
She
hope
seems
not.
like a nice
Yeah.
enough lady. You know, they already taped these shows, so she's probably already back in
Yeah,
Marion.
yeah.
I'd like to see her.
I'd like to go to a bar with her. No, I wouldn't.
Glenn, you're
my,
married.
If my wife is watching, I really.
Holy man! I'm telling you, you're not going to get into office that way, Glenn. You keep that up. That's not going to work. So the Golden Bachelor there you go. That's the premiere date. Lisa from Marion, 66 years old. September 25th, 24th. The ABC television network. So there you go.
Interesting.
And we hope she does well.
Yeah,
do,
she-
indeed.
That's the
So is she the only woman then?
No, there's
Oh,
a bunch of women on the show. I don't know. I think it's interesting. But, you know, in any event, here's another story that I saw recently. If your friends made plans without you, would you invite yourself? It goes to a new study that shows most people think they were purposely not invited. It suggests that you should, the poll suggests that you should just ask if you can come along too. So if you're not invited to something, Mary Ellen, do you ask if you can come?
Probably not. It would depend on who it was. If it's my family, they'd say, well, yeah, come on.
So if you're not invited to something by a friend, do you think you were purposely not invited? I think that's what the study says.
It would depend on the friend. Yeah, that's what would depend on it for me.
That's one of the things that I've been. At night, I think of all these things. I write a little column, so I think of all these things. And one of the things is, if I'm not invited, does it bother me?
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to the age it doesn't bother me at all.
No, it doesn't bother me either. Yeah.
Now, when I was younger, it would bother me, and I would have probably felt hurt. But probably age 50 on, I said, oh, heck with it.
You know, I don't remember anything that I wanted to go to. There probably was, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't remember anything.
Well, you know what I thought when I heard this story? I think sometimes you don't ask somebody because you don't want them to feel obligated.
Uh-huh.
I think sometimes when you ask somebody to something, they might feel obligated to say yes, and you don't want them to have that obligation. It's not that you don't want them to come. You do want them to come. You just don't want them to feel obligated to say yes. Because I think a lot of times people feel if they say no, that the other person won't like that.
I've never had a problem saying no.
No, I don't think I have either.
Well, Mary Ellen and I were very popular when we were younger, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Listen, I say no all the time to things, but I just feel that sometimes I think people do. Like if you're invited to speak, let's say at somebody's memorial service, and you don't want to do it for whatever reason, now people might look badly on that.
Why would you not want to do it?
Well, maybe you don't want to.
I jump at anything that anybody asks me to speak to.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting.
I'm just glad they're there and I'm here.
Well, yeah, but I'll tell you, recently I spoke at Sister Earlene Hatch's memorial service,
Yeah.
and I have had more feedback from that speech, and I don't know what it is, but more people have come up to me and said nice things about that speech.
Well, you make a wonderful speech.
Well,
I listened to your speech at Primrose because I had never heard you give a speech, and you did a wonderful job there. And Leslie said the same thing. She said, "Boy, he sure did a good job on that speech," and I said, "Yes."
Well, you know what's interesting? I remember going over to that speech, which ran about an hour.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, what am I going to talk about? Because I cannot, in my mind, plan a speech.
You did it impromptu?
Yeah.
It was so in order. That's what your mind is that way. That's how you run this radio station.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I cannot plan a speech to that degree.
Yeah.
It for some reason,
Well, you didn't have to.
No, sometimes, but you know what I did think since that speech? There are stories that I just didn't cross my mind during that time that I thought, those would have been interesting. Like
That's always the case.
Isn't that always the case?
That's always the case. Every time I get done, I think, oh, I should have had that in
said
there.
that,
yeah.
It
Should have
doesn't
said
matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No,
But
nobody cares.
I always think,
No.
well, the next one.
Yeah.
I'll tell.
Yeah, I'll put it in the next.
Yeah.
That's exactly what.
Well, you know what? That day, as I was driving home, I thought, I should have talked about doing the interviews inside the prison, because that was interesting.
Our prison.
Our prison. I was the first person, just lucky, I guess, who was ever granted permission to do interviews inside the prison.
Well, that's your next speech.
That's my next speech. And you know who else? The other day, you interview so many people. Somebody asked me about Reverend Leroy Jenkins.
Oh,
And
he is so interesting.
I interviewed him 4 times.
Really?
And I remembered some of those stories.
Oh, boy.
And I thought,
Oh, that would be wonderful in a speech.
So I think those are my next people to cover.
The prison and Roy Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was something else.
Did you ever go to one of his revivals, Mary Ellen?
Yes.
Oh, he was.
Yes.
He could draw them
He
in.
could do it, I'll tell you. That is such a talent.
Oh,
To be able to do that to people. I tell you, I just admire that. And I know it's awful. In his case, it was
yeah,
awful.
he did some terrible stuff.
But for people that are doing it for the right reason, that's a wonderful ability.
You know what was
Yeah.
fascinating about him, and many stories with him, but what was so fascinating is this man was in prison for arson at one point in Ohio. He married an older lady who had won the lottery. That was a whole big scandal. Her family certainly didn't like that. He put, I believe it was chloroform in his holy water out of his cathedral in Delaware. I mean, this guy did some terrible stuff.
I didn't know he did that.
Oh, yeah. He had a whole list of things.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, when you met him,
He was nice.
he did. He had a presence,
Yeah.
and people did believe that he could heal them. They believed it.
Was it Charlie Evers that picked him up? Somebody took him for a ride somewhere.
Somebody did take him for a ride. I don't remember took him for a ride.
Wasn't Charlie?
Wasn't Charlie, I don't think. But this man had a
Somebody
persona.
else.
I went to his revival, and I'll tell you, people were falling over themselves.
I've gone to revivals way back when I was a kid. I mean, I was a little kid at revival. My dad and mother's taken me to revivals.
They're a show.
Yeah, and I tell you, I can remember this. It was crazy.
What was so fascinating, I don't think you were here yet, Glenn, but this man at his height in the 70s could fill the Coliseum, 5,000 people.
Yeah.
He could pack it.
Yeah.
And he was known the world over. He was a big deal.
I never heard of him.
They ran him out of here eventually because of that whole chloroform and the holy water stuff. He went out to Arizona, but he would still come back and do these revivals. And boy, I'll tell you, when I would go to them, he would sing. He had the sequin jackets, and he had that tan and that I think it was a wig. I don't think it was a hairpiece. He had a wig on. And boy, I'll tell you though, he commanded the room. He had that. What do you think about revivals? Glenn, your father was a minister.
My father really disliked revivals.
Well, I bet so.
Yeah, and because he was mainline
Methodist.
yeah.
Methodist, and that's kind of.
But he didn't oppose people going to them. He just didn't think they served the right purpose. And as I got older, I drove car for Mrs. Burke. And Mrs. Burke's husband owned Ball Jar Company.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so she had lots of money. So I drove her car. And she made me go to a revival meeting every Wednesday night.
Oh, so you've been
With her maids. With her maids.
I
I would take her maids, and she'd go on, and I'd have to wait with the maids until the revival
yeah.
was over. But I loved it. I really enjoyed.
You went with the maids?
Yeah, they
the
were all,
maids went to the revival.
They were all
You
African
loved
American.
you loved the revival?
I enjoyed listening to the
Well-
rhythm of it.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a show.
They had power. They knew how to grab your mind. You know, they had that.
And it's the
ability.
rhythm that they set up that's
Yeah.
almost hypnotic. Yeah.
Now I'm confused. Did Mrs. Burke go to the revivals?
Well, sometimes she did, but most of the time she'd go. They were in Harbor Springs, Michigan, which is a
Yeah.
big resort area. She'd go and look at the resort, the places.
So
to buy
now
stuff.
I'm trying to figure this story out, Glenn. So Mrs. Burke, a rich lady,
Yeah.
said, Glenn, you're my driver. Get the maids in the car and take them to the revival.
She would go with us.
She went with you?
Yeah, because she
How
wanted
nice
to
of
go
her.
shop.
So she'd go shopping, but you and the maids had to go to the revival?
Yeah, she wanted me to stay with the maids.
Okay.
But I loved
I
the
wonder
maids.
why she took the maids
Yeah.
to the revival.
Well, they were all African American, and it
Oh,
was a
were they?
black
Oh.
revival.
Oh, it was
So
a
they
black
wanted to go.
revival.
Oh,
They wanted to go.
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so she's a kind woman,
Oh, yeah,
Miss
she was
Mrs.
very
Burke.
kind,
Yeah,
yeah.
very
Yeah.
kind. But
Yeah.
why did you have to supervise the maids?
I think she wanted me to be there as a protector.
Oh,
Oh, a little
yeah.
rough.
I was a guy.
Well, that's a thought.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
she was a nice lady, and I think that's really what she wanted
Well,
me to do.
those revivals drew big crowds.
Oh, yeah. The rhythm
Yeah.
is just so
Yeah.
hypnotic. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Did you do that when you were at the revival?
No, I did something like Trump does.
I like that. Well, that was a little dance, the revival dance. Well, I don't know. All I'm saying, I haven't been to I've been to a few revivals, some of these things, but boy, nothing like old Reverend Leroy when he put those he sang. He claimed he was Conway Twitty's brother. I mean, he had a whole line.
Have you ever listened to Flip Wilson do some of his stuff?
Oh yes,
Oh,
yes.
it's
Flip
hilarious.
Wilson, very
Yeah.
funny.
He does funny revival stuff.
I've never heard him, but I used to, listen to those other guys out west.
Yeah.
Who are
Well,
they?
you know-
I can't think of their names.
Well, all these
They're-
guys, like
they're-
Jim Baker.
Yeah.
Jim-
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
crowd.
Oh, that
whole crowd.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you don't see that anymore.
No.
No, they.
No, because they can't get on.
No, but that I'll tell you, that used to be a moneymaker. Boy,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if you did a revival.
Oh, it still is.
You know,
there are people that are on TV that make a lot of money being not revivalists, but TV ministers.
That should be a show.
I remember they used to ask us to bring food. And they asked my dad to bring, they called them tea balls instead of tea bags. My dad said, "What are tea balls?"
Oh yeah,
My dad didn't-
little metal balls filled with tea leaves.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Is that what it is?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Oh.
evidently. But anyway, he figured it out, I guess. 'Cause- but I can still remember that. Isn't that funny?
Now, did your parents like the revivals?
Well, they must have because they went, but
Oh.
they were very Methodist people. I mean, I can't understand why they went.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
Methodists are very subtle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and in the
Moderate.
church that they went to, the men sat on one side and the women on the other.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was strange to me because they were not the type to go to revivals, but we went. Yeah.
My dad was a liberal Methodist, and so our church was very liberal. But I think he enjoyed. Dad used to take us occasionally up the street, maybe 5 blocks up the street from where the parsonage was the black area of town.
Oh, yeah.
And they always had revivals, and we'd just go and listen, stand outside the church and listen.
Yeah.
Listen to the rhythms and the
Yeah.
music, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, but I think there are just interesting people, and those were interesting people. They had their own, and I don't know. See, I still contest that group is dying off. I don't know.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
I don't see.
They don't do it anymore, do they?
Yeah, there's
Oh, there's- are they
occasional.
still?
I think they still do.
I hadn't heard of any. Yeah.
But here we are, and Mary Ellen, I did want to touch on the library before we wrap up. I think the libraries are doing okay.
Yes. I just finished a really good book, and I'm waiting on the Bill Clinton book.
and that should be good.
Yes,
The first-
it'll be good with Clinton and Patterson.
Yeah, the first mail, I think.
Yeah,
is
and
what
I found out that Kamala Harris had written a book, 107 Days, and I called the library to see if they had it, and they don't have it yet, but it just came out.
It just came out, yeah.
So
Come on.
they probably will get it, but I wanted to get my name on the list as fast as possible.
reading is still so important, and I'm glad that the libraries are doing well.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I have
Which is good.
dyslexia, so I don't read, but I do.
Listen,
Yeah, I get the listen books.
the audio
The
books.
Yeah, audio
Well,
books.
that's good. So, Glenn, before we wrap this episode up, you're running for charter commission.
Yep.
Have you got your 5 signatures?
I don't have the signatures yet, but I've got everything else filled out. I've got 1 signature. No, I don't even have 1 yet.
Well, you've got to work
You
on
got
it.
it with you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mary
I'll
Ellen can
sign
sign it.
Are you living inside the city limits?
Yes.
Out there is inside the city
Yeah.
limits? Oh, I'll make sure you sign it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go. And Mary Ellen, do you have anything coming up?
Not that I know.
But you'll accept invitations to things.
Huh?
Well, you'll accept invitations.
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
You have a birthday coming up in October.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And what would you like to do this year for your birthday?
Well, I'd kind of like to go to the casino.
Oh, there you go.
cool.
There you go. Well, that's not bad.
I'll ask my wife if I can take you.
There we go. A trip to the casino. And watch The Golden Bachelor and all the other things that come along. All right, for this episode, for Mary Ellen and Glenn, Scott Spears heading for the dugout.